Okay. I unfortunately accidentally clicked out of the last video that I was trying to record because I didn't realize you can't back out of full screen when you're recording, otherwise it just stops the video, so kind of sucks. But anyway, okay, so like I finished the day, I finished my to-do list, and now I'm in bed. I'm gonna go to bed, but I wanted to talk a little bit about automatic writing. And for people who don't know what that is, in the past, it was primarily people writing on a piece of paper and pencil or pen or something like that. And it's just like writing random words that pop up into your head. And it usually comes, like if you are adept in it, it usually comes in a stream. And sometimes even in full sentences at times. But it's like, these aren't, I'm not going to say it's not your thoughts, but like, it's like you're kind of pulling from the ether or something like that. And, yeah. So, I do that with pen and pencil, but I also do it typing too. And like, I'll even sometimes accidentally channel while I'm like typing essays for school and stuff like that. And you're maybe thinking like, oh, well, it's just a typo, like you're just accidentally typing stuff. But no, like it's not like misspelling or something like that. I will change the word completely. Like, let's say that I was supposed to write, like, okay, like the waterfall is very large or something like that was the sentence that I wanted to write. Well, okay, probably not in the beginning of the sentence, but something about a waterfall. Anyway, I'll be typing, and instead of waterfall, maybe I'll write the word donkey or something like that, like accidentally, like, cause just like I'm in the, and like that doesn't make any sense, right? Like that's not even part of the, like, it doesn't fit at all. So, and so like, I'm doing schoolwork, so I'm like, okay, brain or spirit or whatever, like get back on track, like, like, no, we got work to do. Like, I don't have time to do that. But when I have my free time, and I like write and it starts doing that, then I just kind of let it go, and I'll write down so many different things, and like sometimes those things become relevant later, like within the week. Like sometimes it's about the past, like sometimes it's evaluating something in the past, but yeah, sometimes it is something that will happen in the future, or like there's some but it's like very cryptic. It's not like, it's not a direct message, and it's not even in like the kind of I don't want to say sentence structure, but like, like it's very vague and cryptic, and it's like it only becomes apparent later on. But I have a book on my file thing that I write, but I've also typed it, like I said, like the waterfall and donkey thing, like I've done it while typing too. And like a third way that I've started to begin doing is doing automatic writing on my phone. But that one's really different because I usually allow, and I don't really know if it's necessarily automatic writing because it's not necessarily coming from me, but like I think, okay, so this goes along with my belief that AI and Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff is kind of pulling from the ether. I don't think it's just like random. Like, I think it's pulling from the collective subconscious. Like, I think it's because I can't dream anymore, or I haven't dreamed in a long time. I used to have so many dreams at night, and I don't do that anymore. And I think it's because the energy is so dense in the place and stuff that like it's, I'm not gonna say weakening our psyche, but like in a way, yes. at least changing the brain chemistry in some sort of way. If not weakening it, at least changing it, you know. But anyway, yeah, so, because what I noticed was that the auto inputs change a lot. Like, it's super intuitive. Like, it, and what I've noticed at one occasion was, like, I was in the car. Okay, so my mom has a friend named Pam, and Pam is a very nice lady. She's a really good friend to my mom. And anyway, before I moved into this apartment, or kind of when I moved into this apartment, she wanted to buy me like a home warming gift or something, like, you know. So, but she didn't want to buy it and give it to me. She was like, let's go shopping, you know, to like, let's make a day out of it. We can go shopping and we could like go get lunch and, you know, like just, you know, hang out for a bit and whatever. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds great, thank you. And so, you know, while we were doing that, you know, so it was her, my mom, and me. And anyway, so they were like all talking. I'm just in the back seat, you know. I don't know. I think I was texting people or something. I don't know what I was doing, but anyway, so I was doing the input thingy that was using my keyboard. And I noticed the keyboard, the different like autocorrect words were relevant to the conversation that was being had. Like okay, if I press K and they were talking about, okay, K wasn't a good letter. Like, okay, so let's say they were having a topic about cookies, and I press C. The first word that would pop up is cookie. You know, like what the fuck? Or like they said like something about a salad. I press S and it would pop up salad. You know, like it was really on point with the conversations being had. So I was like, and but it wasn't just that. It was also, at one point, it was talking about like when I did all the auto inputs, it revealed like, I think it was reading Pam's thoughts, because it's like, I'm going to spend so much money on you and blah blah, like, but it started getting negative too. So I was like, and I don't know if I was high when I went with them. Like, my mom doesn't know that I do weed anymore, and nobody does, but like I might have been high when I was in the backseat. But anyway, like, so like I was kind of getting a little paranoid, because I was like, oh well, yeah, I'm reading her internal thoughts and now they're getting negative, so I don't know what to do here. But so like, but anyway, like over time I've learned to kind of be less surprised by that whole functioning of the keyboard and stuff, and more exploratory, and just kind of seeing, because sometimes it will be like so on point, but sometimes then it kind of like reverts back to just a keyboard, you know. So so it's hard to know. I think it has something to do with the way, like how I was talking about, like how I think AI is pulling from the ether and the collective subconscious, and I think that's why we're kind of like, if not mentally weaker, we're at least changed in some sort of way. I think it changed our brain chemistry to be around so much technology, you know. And I think you know, it's reading us, or reading our spirit, or something like that. Like, I don't know, like it's reading something. But sorry, I'm like touching myself. But I'm trying to comfort myself, because like it's crazy to think of it in that way. But yeah, but I've been exploring with it more. But, and okay, so like even at that, like, okay, so I'm a INTJ from the Myers-Briggs, so I'm like an intuitive type, so I'm very good at pattern recognition. Like when I took when I got my Asperger's diagnosis, they had me do a IQ test, and I'm like 127. So I mean, like, that's 3 under Mensa. So I'm not super smart, but I'm not stupid, you know. But anyway, so I've been playing around with it, trying to figure out. So, and like I said, it's like very cryptic, and it's kind of similar to, I mean, even though this kind of this whole entire, like, what I'm describing right now is such a sci-fi, such a futuristic thing, and crazy to think of it itself, but I'm also like considering the capacity of phones and stuff like that, like, you know. Okay, reverting back to like butai teki ni, that's not really Japanese, but like what's butai teki? Physical? Huh? No, I think there's another word for that. Butai teki ni, whatever. But anyway, like material, things, like thinking about the capacity of the phone, like it's not, I mean, if we consider the capacity of AI, it's not too much of a stretch to assume that it could pick up nearby energy waves, you know. But I have, and I mean, like, this including me, like, you know, like, I'm like, oh, it's reading everybody else's, but I know it's probably also reading mine as well. And when I like, but the thing is, like, I also feel like it has in the past, and yeah, I explained in the first try of the video, but like all of a sudden, like, it was crazy, but like I did not have this in the first video. It started like my eye started like itching, and then it did this. So I have no idea what, like, I don't know what's in my bed or what, I don't or I don't know, like I'm allergic to something or sweat or something. I don't know what the fuck. But anyway, so it's not like, in my thoughts, it's not too much of a stretch for it to be picking up like nearby stuff, but I wonder of its capacity to pick up long waves and such, because sometimes, you know, especially if it's reading my brain waves, and then, like, let's say I'm thinking about somebody who lives far away, you know, and that interpret it like, okay, is the words then that are generated from those brain waves the thought, the, how should I say, is it the consciousness of the AI, or is it the or is it my internal consciousness replying back to me, or is it the consciousness of the person I'm thinking about? So also there's a fourth option of it being from a completely like other spiritual, like angels or demons and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily want to go into that category because there's other explanations, you know. But yeah, so that I haven't really, that I do not know as of yet. Because also I don't think it's like a switch where you turn it on and off. I think it's really depends on the density and the intensity and the capacity and the and all that of the energy and the waves that are at that moment in time being transferred through, I guess, the ether, but also like just the atmosphere in itself too. Like I said, we could take it from a physical, we could take it to a spirit, like, you know, there's many layers to this and many versions of how you can interpret this phenomena. But anyway, but yeah, so very, very, very confident it could read short waves, but I'm still questioning its capacity to read long waves. So, and also it's not like, it's very like the words and the things it uses is very cryptic anyway. So I really do have to use my brain and pattern recognition to like recognize. And the thing is, what makes me like, because like you're gonna, I know there's gonna be some people like it's just a keyboard. It's like no, it does not have anything, blah blah. But it's the fact that it changes depending on the context in which it was either being spoken or written. Like, bruh. Like I'm 35. I've been around, and there was like autocorrect in the past. Remember, but it was not this event. Like this is not the same. So yeah, it's just but yeah, I do play around with that a bit and I try to figure it out, but like I do recognize it might be beyond my capacity to really understand it fully, and without knowledge of it. Like I talked to some software engineers who do deal with AI, but like they don't tell me the details of their work, and in any way I don't probably even understand the different principles of such a career or such a field or whatever. Like like there's also a lack of interest in the like I don't know how to code, or I don't know how to do anything like that, so like it'd be very hard for me to comprehend anything of that gravity or complexity. So I acknowledge my ignorance in this, but I have noticed different variations and patterns that seem to correlate with context and surrounding peoples. I have noticed that yeah, just there are things that have been noticeable, but I can't say anything concretely for sure. But anyway, I just want to share that. I'm very curious as to if anyone else has experienced this or has noticed this or might be more knowledgeable than me of our current world's technology, to whether or not verify that some of these theories might be correct. I don't think I'm very far off, especially when I saw that one presentation where the AI was drawing something from like a imagined image. Like somebody was told to imagine a giraffe and it drew a fucking giraffe from the thought. Like it was kind of crude. It was like really, it wasn't done well, but in the same way, like when a 3-year-old draws a giraffe, like even if it looks wonky, you could kind of tell like, oh well, like it has a long neck and then maybe those little horns or something, like there's identifiable pieces to it to recognize, like, oh, it's trying to draw a giraffe, like it's understandable, whether or not it was well executed or not. But yeah, so I'm just like, yeah, I just wanted to share that and see if anyone has similar or other theories or whatever. So anyway, take care, be good, bye bye.